Today we're talking about why your church volunteers are not committed here at the Better Sundays podcast at Reachkeep.com. Welcome to the Better Sundays podcast. Focused, practical, and usable advice for church leaders looking to reach new young families and impact their community. So what if your volunteers only saw your mouth? In other words, what if I did this entire podcast and we did the entire filming just like this? Well, I can tell you what, it wouldn't take long for you to hang up, so let me zoom her in here, and we'll get a little serious. Now, I know that's a strange intro, but here is something I want to talk about. Why our volunteers are not faithful. Why they're not committed. And there is a reason, because sometimes all they see is our mouth. All they see is, they're here, I guess, is what we say, is they hear us talking, but they don't necessarily see us as much as they need us. Now, I'm speaking to you as a senior leader here, that you would make sure that your volunteers are getting more than just commands from you. In other words, we give them commands and we give them rules and we give them definitions and we give them targets and we give them dates and we give them all those things. But really what they would like to have is they would like to have our eyeball to eyeball attention. They would love for us to look them in the eye a little bit more often so that they can catch our vision and find out what is going on. If we do not take time to spend eyeball to eyeball time with our volunteers, we will lose them and they will not be faithful. They will not grab hold of our vision because they have bailed on us and don't you hate it when people bail on you at the worst time? In other words, when you need them the most and they're not there, they're not committed, they're not faithful, and you're frustrated. And a lot of that can be prevented when we take time to look them in the eye and spend time with them and share our vision with them. My goal for this little simple podcast is to help you and I understand the reason that sometimes we do not have faithful volunteers or they don't seem to be committed. It's probably not their fault. It's probably our fault, and that we need to make sure that we're spending a little bit more time with them. Now, let me give you a couple tips on how to do this. Number one is if a volunteer is actually doing something, they're in the midst of a project and they're doing their thing, make sure that you get in there and spend a little bit of time with them and give them some attaboys, give them some pat on the backs, give them some recognition. It may not be an event, like if it's a children event and you're a senior pastor, you may not be actually doing things there, but to walk through and to just acknowledge them and let them know that you appreciate what they're doing. That's that eyeball to eyeball thing. And they're not just hearing your commands, but they're seeing your eyes, they're seeing your heart. Another thing is for you to spend time with them, giving them the direction and the guidance that they need. And that doesn't happen during the event. That happens when the event is not happening. And that means that you and I need to have meetings with our volunteer workers on a regular basis, and these meetings need to be not just like little 5-minute things here where you kind of give this little dab of information or don't forget that schedule or whatever, but these meetings need to be where you and I are asking them questions and getting their feedback on how their ministry is going and how can we do some improvement and what can I as the leader do to help improve things. All of these things are going to be super helpful for you to create that committed and faithful volunteer. The third thing that you need to do, besides walking around and catching them in the business of doing things and then having some meetings, is make sure that you are personally caring for them and finding out what their personal needs are. It may have nothing to do with their ministry, but has everything to do with their heart and their faithfulness. When they see how much you care, that is going to be the great secret. And you spend time and you ask them how their father's doing or how's their, problem going, whatever it happened to be. But take some time and ask them how they're doing and just love on them. Many times we have pastors that we counsel with and coach with, and they're trying to build a ministry team. And what they have created is a group of people that shows up at a certain time, and they all work at a certain time, but they don't have any team to them. And what they're doing is they're just simply doing tasks together at the same time. Now, if you feel that you and your people are doing tasks together at the same time, then you might need a little teamwork coaching. And that might be something that you can contact me about, and we'll help you building ministry teams. This is much more than we can handle in just a short little video here. But if you take these simple little things and walk amongst them and get the attaboys going, and you spend some time with them in the specific meetings where you're asking them exactly what they need and how their progress is going, and you take time with a longer meeting, and then if during that meeting time or at other times you're simply asking them, how are you doing? How are things with you in the Lord? How are things in your family? How's things with your wayward child, etc., etc.? Spending time with them, you will start the building blocks of creating a ministry team. Now, you do not want to just see the mouth only, okay, of this thing. If I did this and we did this the whole thing just like that, like say, you'd be clicking the next button here pretty soon. You need to be eye to eye to your people. You need to spend eyeball to eyeball time with them in these manners that I just described, and that is the first step of building a ministry team. If you're interested in some further coaching, you can go to our website, reachkeep.com/ and hit the word coach, and that kind of gets you in there. There's several places you can kind of look around. We have a variety of different coaching products that we offer, but I would love to help you to develop your ministry teams. We are here for you. And I have some of the sweetest moments of my days throughout the week are just talking heart to heart with pastors and their ministry team and how they can, build and develop, and whether it's social media advice we're given, or helping them with their children's program, or helping them with, just like I say, building ministry teams. We are here for you, and I just love being involved in doing that. So thank you very much for taking a few moments here. Don't forget to do these things that I just spoke of. Make sure that you are connecting eyeball to eyeball with your people, and that is what's going to help them be committed. And you won't be just doing tasks at the same time in the same building, okay? You will be creating a team. So Mike here at Reachkeep.com. Thanks so much. You can contact me about any personal questions you might have about coaching. If you need something special, be glad to help at info@reachkeep.com. That's info@reachkeep.com. And this is Mike at the Better Sundays podcast at Reachkeep.com, and we will see you next time. God bless.